For Assignment 1, your Gantt chart, please download the Assignment 1 template. Once downloaded, you will find several things. You will find a column that has been labeled Task, and it has assignments 1 through 10, start date, days completed, days remaining, and duration in days. For purposes of this presentation, I have already filled in some start dates, but you will go through the syllabus to determine what the actual start date will be for each of these assignments. You will also determine how long it will take you to complete, and that number will go in the duration column. The days completed you will fill in as you complete each of these assignments. For purposes of this example, I have already completed 2 days of assignment 1 and 1 day of assignment 2. The days remaining is a field that is calculated automatically for you, but I am going to delete the formulas in this column so that I can show you how to build in those formulas. To get started, go to the Insert tab, select Bar in the Chart menu, click on the drop-down menu, and select Stacked Bar. Once you have inserted a stacked bar, right-click and choose Select Data. I'm just going to pick this up and move it over. I'm going to select Add. My series name here is going to be Start Date. And I am going to select all of my start dates by clicking on this icon and then holding my left mouse key down and selecting all of these dates. Once they're selected, press Enter, and you can see that your chart is beginning to populate. Say OK, and a new dialog box opens that says Select Data Source. The next thing that you are going to do is add your tasks. So we're going to say Add. Our series name is going to say Task. We're going to select the data by choosing this icon, and we're going to highlight all 10 of our assignments. Enter. OK. Once you have done that, we want to add another data source, and we're going to add our days completed. So if I click Add, I name my series Days Completed. Again, I'm going to select the data range by clicking this icon, and I'm going to select all the way down the days completed. Don't worry that you're going over your chart area. It's actually picking up the data that you have entered into this row. I'm going to then say Enter. OK. And the next thing that I want to do is add days remaining. So I'm going to say Add Days Remaining. Click on this icon, select your data in this column, Enter, and say OK. Now we're starting to notice, we can say OK to this for now, and we're starting to notice a couple of things about our chart. One thing that's noticeable is that these assignments are not in the right order. They go from the last assignment to the first assignment when actually it should start with the first assignment. So we are going to right-click our mouse here on the vertical axis, and we're going to choose Format Axis. And there's a box that you can check that says Categories in Reverse Order, and we're going to say OK to that, and then close this menu, and as you can see, you now have 1 through 10. Another thing you might notice is that instead of saying assignments 1 through 10, this axis is only numbered 1 through 10. We can fix that by right-clicking, choose Format Axis, In the first tutorial, we noticed that assignments 1 through 10 are only listed as numbers 1 through 10 on this axis of our chart. We can fix that by right-clicking on the axis, choose Format Axis, choose Number, select Text, and then Close. Then we have to go in and redefine and reselect this data, and we do that by right-clicking, select Data, Edit Horizontal Axis Labels, click here, and then select assignments 1 through 10, enter. Say OK, OK again, and as you can see, now you have assignments 1 through 10. But now we notice that these dates are kind of crunched together, so we're going to stretch out the chart area by clicking and holding the left mouse button, and that stretches out the dates. Another thing we notice is this blue data here, which really represents our start date, as you can see here by this label, but it's irrelevant to our chart because we really don't need to have these columns filled in. So we are going to click so that all of the blue is highlighted. Then we are going to right-click, say Format, Fill, and we're going to select No Fill. Then we can go ahead and close this out. So now we can see that our chart is representing the green, which is days completed. So we can see the days completed on each of these assignments. We no longer need this axis label because that axis is missing. So we're going to click here, double click, and then we are going to delete that start date. So now our chart is showing task, days completed, and days remaining. We do not need it to show task because that is on this vertical axis here. So we're going to click again, click on task, and we're going to delete that. So basically what we want to show is the days completed and the days remaining. What we're noticing here is that our chart is starting at November 17th, 2014, but actually our first start date is January 6, 2015. So we have to think of how Excel records numbers in order to fix this. So if we click on the first start date with our left mouse button and then right-click it, Format Cells, and go to General, we can see that actually the date January 6, 2015 is 42010. I've already recorded this number over here, 42010. We don't want to change this, so we're going to say cancel. What we do want to do is we want to fix the dates that are on this axis. So we are going to click on this axis with our left mouse button, then we're going to right click, and we're going to say Format Axis. And here you can see that the minimum is at the auto setting, but we want to make it at the fixed setting. And what we're going to do here is we're going to enter in 42010. So we're going to delete that number and add 42010 and say close. When we do that, we can see now our chart is from January 6th to May 6, 2015, which is good because we can then see every days completed and days remaining of all of our assignments 1 through 10. The last thing we want to do is put in a formula for days remaining. So we click into this first cell here. We type equals duration minus days completed, and then say enter. And you can copy this formula Copy the formula by holding down your left mouse button and dragging all the way through assignment 10. As you can see now, this chart is being populated with the days remaining. As you complete your tasks, you will update the days completed in this column. Eventually, you will have all assignments completed, and as you can see, your chart will be completed with the solid bars indicating that each assignment has been completed.